Stephen Cannon joins us. He's the CEO and president of Mercedes-Benz USA, which saw highest volume in terms of sales this year. So, Stephen, good to see you. Thanks for coming on to Surveillance.
Good morning. Great to be here.
The question is, how does a luxury brand go into a low-cost model? That's got to be a delicate dance.
You know, I get this question a lot. Are we diluting the brand somehow by reaching this new price point? You know, for me, if you don't, as a luxury brand, have a lively access point to your brand, what can happen is over time your buyers just age and you lose relevance. So it's really important to have that active entry point, and this will be our new gateway.
So is the strategy here not so much to profit off of it, but to get the younger audience, the younger buyer, engaged with the Mercedes so that they'll buy the $200,000 model later on?
Yes, we will profit off it. We still need to do that, but at the same time, it is that entry to the brand. We've got the highest loyalty rate in the industry for the last 7 years, and we've got lots of other destinations inside of our ecosystem where people can migrate. So,
fine. Are you just reacting to BMW, and is this a price war with BMW?
It's a very competitive market with BMW, with Audi, with Lexus. So, yeah, competition is tough. The U.S. is one of the most, if not the most competitive market in the world. And you have to connect with your consumers. And yes, product packaging, safety, all that matters. But you got to get it at a price point where people who are looking after their wallets can actually reach their way into your brand.
I'm fascinated by this idea. You said your most expensive Mercedes is $200,000?
Sure.
How do you service within the same shop, the same marketing plan, $200,000 down to $29,000?
The most important thing is, does each of those products deliver on the brand promise? Obviously, for the S-Class, which is our flagship at over $90,000, that's our technological tour de force. Of course we can do that. The question is, can you deliver authentic Mercedes-Benz brand values at $29,900? And for us, the answer is absolutely yes. So it's about delivering a compelling proposition at the entry point.
With all of these new models, do you have plans to ramp up U.S. production?
We're going to reach an all-time record pace in 2013. So we are going to grow our volume as we bring more buyers in at the lower end. We're going to migrate them through, but...
Sarah, you bring up a great question. Where is this $29,000 Mercedes made?
That is made over in Europe. We are expanding aggressively our production footprint in the United States. Right now, that's located in Alabama. We produce our trucks there, our ML and our GL. But starting next year, the C-Class, which is another entry product for us, is going to be built for us in Alabama. So,
I wonder. You mentioned Europe. I know that's a big market for you, but we've seen really sluggish, disappointing car sales in Europe. Does that make your United States a much more important, more focused market for Mercedes-Benz?
Absolutely. We're the #1 global market for Mercedes-Benz. It's been a recessionary environment in Europe. We're starting to come out of that. We had a globally all-time record month in August, so we're starting to see some positive signs over there. But in the meantime, it's nice that a market like the United States, which seems to be really hitting on all cylinders for us, we're up 13% this year. Record pace, as I mentioned. We're going to break through 300,000 units.
You're up 13% on unit sales.
No, we're up. The U.S. is up 13%. Yes.
Why?
Compelling product.
No, baloney. Come on. There's got to be a reason here. Is it like everybody's got old Mercedes?
No. So there's definitely replacement demand. The fleet is at its oldest age, 11 years on average. But more for the luxury market, the two biggest predictors are the stock market and housing prices, and both of them are moving in the right direction.
My Mercedes has a transmission over here on the dashboard, and
the button?
The button's over here.
The button confuses you?
It's that old Mercedes gray with the red leather.
Old Mercedes gray. You know, when we were talking earlier about pricing strategy, of course, you can't help but make the comparison to Apple, which is, of course, looking to move into lower-cost iPhones. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, once famously said, there are some customers which we choose not to serve. Is this an antiquated idea in this day and age?
Choosing not to serve, you know, we do the same thing. We're not going to get into the mass market. We are still a luxury brand.
But a $29,000 Mercedes is mass market.
Well, what you're seeing now is kind of a movement downward from the luxury brands and a movement upward from the mass brands. We're meeting in the middle, and I think the advantage goes to the strongest brand and the best product. And I think there we have a compelling advantage.
And you're teaming up with Nokia for self-driving cars. This sounds cool. Tell us about that.
Interestingly, the S-Class, which we're about to launch, our flagship, is the most significant step on this road towards autonomous driving. It can brake itself. It can steer itself.
Autonomous driving.
We are a long...
Did you say autonomous
and do
driving?
consumers want that?
Is that the way I drive?
You mean in the back seat and someone drives forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good.
Got that right.
But do you see demand for this?
It's going to take a while. I mean, the biggest hurdle will be a regulatory hurdle, like who's responsible, how do you insure for something like that. But the technology is there, and we're out. Most of the manufacturers are on record saying by 2020 we can provide a compelling product.
I want to link this in with Jeff Sachs, our guest host this hour. Jeff, this is aspirational products. This is something that the haves of America, for that matter the haves of the world, are looking at. We've got record inequality. We've got record job division. Is it pull the lower end up so they can all buy that Mercedes at $29,000?
Well, I want to go down the road, if I could, just of the technology, because I think that's really thrilling. But I wanted to ask, if I could,
please,
what about climate change, the responsibility of the automotive sector in the future? Are you going to go to all electric vehicles? Sure. Is that the way that Mercedes will go?
Mercedes is taking a broad-based approach. We are continuously improving the internal combustion engine. We're adding clean diesel technology, hybrid technology, plug-in hybrids coming on the S-Class, and we're going to be offering a full electric with a 100-mile range next year in the B-Class. So it's not about one solution, it's about providing
What's the full electric going to cost? Not $29,000, right?
It'll be under $40,000.
Under $40,000.
Not including any of the incentives, both national and state.
Full electric with a
You
Mercedes.
mentioned your astounding comeback post-recession and what you're seeing in terms of volumes and sales. Are they the same consumers buying the Mercedes than pre-recession?
We're opening up the brand. It's a similar consumer, but they're now more confident. They've recovered all their wealth from the downturn, and they're more confident than they've ever been before. So you add that into the market, that fuels luxury sales. And
quick question from car aficionado producer Ted Fine. How can you call the new CLA a coupe if it has 4 doors?
Because it's got gorgeous styling, and it looks like a coupe, but it has the practicality of a 4-door sedan.